Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and today we're discussing my top 14 picks of female Einherjar fighters to fight up against the gods. All right, and I did my top list of the ones I did for my male Einherjar and god Einherjar, and I figured, you know what, why not do a female Einherjar and female god or goddesses in a tournament like this? All right, and I figured, you know what, that'd be fun, and it was kind of fun researching some characters, researching some humans and god fighters, and I thought, you know what, let's do it. All right, so yeah, before we start, let me know what you guys would like as in, who would be your number one pick of a female fighter you'd like to see in an all-female Einherjar fighter team, all right? I'd be curious to hear what you guys got to say, all right? Now, starting off with my pick is actually 1 and 2, a double pack, Mary Reed and Anne Bonny. Now, the reason I picked these two is because these pirates were very successful in the Golden Pirate era. They were very formidable and pretty dang smart for, being pirates. I'm not a fan of pirates, Navy all the way with me in One Piece. But yeah, again, I can't deny these two were very successful pirates and very, I guess, like very trickery. That even the one that was very feminine was getting along with another one, and a guy that loved the more feminine one. I'm so sorry. I want to say it was Anne Bonny that he had an attraction with. Forgive me if I'm misremembering. And he got into a confrontation until Mary Reed had to reveal, no, I'm actually a woman. So yeah, I found that actually pretty funny. I remember watching that way back in oh man, way when History Channel was good. So yeah, I'll correct myself if I got them mixed up. I thought that was pretty interesting, and it'd be cool to see a duo fight in Ragnarok. Not them fighting at the same time, but two that were really good friends. One went out to go fight and win or lose. The other one has to go out and fight, depending, if they gotta, either continue the win streak or they die. Something that could be tragic like that. I think that'd be very interesting. All right, my number 3 pick, Tomo Gozen, as a famous Japanese fighter, and as I'll read right here, Tomo Gozen was a Japanese female samurai that lived during the late 12th century or late Heian period. Watch out, Sukuna. In Japan, and was known for her skills in archery and swordcraft. So, yeah, I mean, you need a female swordsman, right? And especially from Japan. And I think it's pretty cool that she has, that she's known like that. And again, you need a good swordsman to fight up against the gods, right? And I think she definitely fits the bill. All right, here's one here for you guys. Mulan. No surprise. But the problem when I was researching Mulan is Mulan, they're not really sure if she ever really existed. They're not sure if she was an actual historical figure or someone that they just created that actually just to be propaganda. But I figure, you know what? Let's have Mulan here. Why not? If chances are she probably was based off a real person, probably a lot of the achievements she received probably exaggerated. But I could believe that Mulan was probably a real person, that a woman that dressed up as a man to join the military and fight for honor, and was eventually revealed to be a woman, and which was actually would be mind blowing. So I mean, come on, we can all buy that probably would happen in real life, right? Like, come on. So yeah, Mulan again. Well, I gotta say, great at disguising, right? I mean, oh my god, how would you not know? Like, I mean, I get a lot of mud on the face, I guess. you know, like the stuff. Well, do Chinese grow facial hair that much? I'm not sure. So yeah, I could buy that. Yeah, I could buy Mulan doing that, and again, being a great warrior. Just again known in history. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched the movie. It's pretty good. The animated one, though, live action. No. All right, we got another pirate here, and I am so sorry I cannot pronounce her name correctly, but it is Xin. Also, a very very powerful pirate empress that essentially just devastated the South China Sea. She was very very successful. She had a very strategic. She had actually an armada with her. So again, very very accomplished. It'd be cool to see her being a very very strong and powerful leader as a fighter. Obviously, she'd have to have fought many times, right? Otherwise, she would not have gone far as she did. It'd be interesting to see like the Anne Bonny and them and Mary just being like these very good pirates, but compared to the Empress of Pirates, that actually even it created the what I want to say vampire, the pirate code for her crew and everything. It'd be very interesting to see her come in and just show what the king, or I guess at this point the Empress of Pirates, can do. All right, here's one, my version of Shin Hung, and I'm so sorry I cannot pronounce her name, but Wu Zhao, the first female empress, and again another very clever woman, And let me read from her wiki here. Also known as Empress Wu Zetian, is the first and only woman emperor in China. With her extraordinary intelligence, extraordinary competence in politics, and inordinate ambitions, she ruled as the holy and divine emperor. So again, yeah, many achievements. She more than likely learned from her predecessors, and just being, just this intelligent fighter. Again, another leader in my roster, but you gotta get some of the leaders right, like a great leader like that. I mean, why not, right? And knowing again Chinese fighting style, again a much more prevalent version of what Mulan would be. Mulan was like more of a lower soldier in China, while Wu Zhao was more of a grander character, a grander figure that led China. So again, another duality compared to with the Chinese Empress, the pirates, and the rookie pirates. So again, I love that differences, that kind of that differences in how you could play with it. I really still like stuff like that in stories, and I think you'd be able to do a lot of stuff with it, like here with Wu Zhao. All right, here's probably one you guys haven't heard very much of, and I will link a video that talks great detail about her by Count Dankula. It'll be a link in the description. But yeah, when I first her story, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty intense. Her name again is, I am so sorry, I cannot pronounce her name. All right, Olga of Clev, which is a very famous figure, and I want to say in Europe, towards Asia, where she okay, I'll give you a brief history, which made me very interested in this character. That one time her husband went out to collect I believe it was taxes, right, and from another kingdom, but they ended up ambushing him and killing him. And then that kingdom came over to her kingdom and gave her the news that, yeah, your husband's dead. We killed him. Now why don't you marry one of our leaders, essentially? And she actually played along. She was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Why don't you and your men head back to your camp, come back, and we'll hold a feast. And the guys were like, oh, okay. Then they went out, and then her and her people came by, got them, and carried them back into the kingdom. And as the men were like, "Oh, freaking, this is wow, this is going pretty well," but then they got the guys and threw them into a hole, and then Olga came up to the hole and said to them, "Now is this to your liking?" As she had her people bury them alive, and then she went to war with the kingdom that devastated, that killed her husband, and the war was very one sided. Let's just say that she's pretty dang smart and intelligent. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out that video. Now, speaking of links in description, there's another video I watched from Count Dankula. He goes into this character too. This character is wow. Let's just say that, like, larger than life. Let's say, and her name is Julie Dublagli. Again, it's French, so my apologies, French. But yeah, this woman, again, as Count Dankula said, she was larger than life. She was great at disguises, great at fighting. That she's actually been able to beat several men at the same time. And oh boy, a huge troublemaker. And the way her story, and I'm not gonna give it away, but the way her story ends, you don't see it coming. Let's just say that. And oh boy, yeah. Again, description in the uh, or sorry, a link to his video in the description, because again, crazy character, I gotta say. And how could you not have her on a list, right? Especially with all her achievements that she's done in life. Woo! One of them involves having an affair with her dad's boss, which is, yeah, that's crazy. Especially if you know more of the context of it, all right? And they're French. No offense to my French watchers. I'm just saying she's French, so you kind of get what's going on here. All right. All right. My one and only pick from the Bible, Queen Esther. And the reason I picked her is just for the sheer fact that she helped out the Jewish people escape persecution from the Persians. She was just a woman that actually got carried favor from the king. She was wedded, became the queen, and through her action, she was able to help the Jewish people, be safe and everything. And she does have more achievements of, going out and helping people. And the fact that she went out of her way, because she was Jewish too, I believe, that she went out of her way, even though it was like pretty dangerous to help, to help the Jews at that point. That she went out of her way to go help them, showing how like she's actually a pretty good and benevolent, kind person to the people that needed her help, and that's pretty cool to see with me. So yeah, I figured, Esther, why not have her? Here's another royalty for you, Queen Elizabeth the First. Now, why is that? Well, again, many achievements, very good at diplomatic situations and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, again, with the first, you have to be something great to have been the first and being known as the first, as in, well, not just because of the name and everything, but the achievements you've done. As I'll go through them right here. She was very quick. She was a very quick-witted ruler and famed for her great skills and persuasion. She rarely failed and to get her own way, and was surrounding herself with carefully chosen ministers who would help her rule. So again, another seemed to be another great ruler. So to my British watchers out there, or yeah, my British watchers out there in the United Kingdom, let me know, was she really all that great? From what I've read, seems like she was pretty good. Now here's one I'm not sure if you guys heard of. You guys probably have heard of. I've heard of her when I was in high school, and her name is, I am so sorry, Russia, Ludmila Plafajokio. I am so sorry, Russia. I tried, all right? I tried. But yes, she is the most well-known female sniper that got over 309 kills. She was known as the Lady of Death, or Lady Death. A very, very accomplished fighter. And again, why wouldn't you have her on this list? Again, it's very similar to Simo from the canon story. But yeah, having her on this list is like a must-have. Again, a sniper, a fighter that's like again similar to Simo. Again, from especially the World War II. So yeah, pretty dang intense. And I gotta say, man, a definitely must-have pick. And again, why not, right? Now here's one I think just about nearly every, like 99% of people would have on their list, is this female fighter right here, and it is Cleopatra. Why? Well, freak, why wouldn't you, right? Again, she was known as the most beautiful woman of her era, probably of all time, if you believe the stories about her. That she was the very crucial and kind of manipulated her relationships with Caesar and Mark Antony. A very, very I guess you could say cautious and very intimidating ruler that really got like literally whatever she wanted, again through her beauty, through her seduction. And again, a very interesting, and it'd be very, very interesting to see her fight in the story. And yeah, it'd be very interesting to see her fight against a god and see how that goes up. I could literally see her going up against Aphrodite, because against Aphrodite is supposed to be like known as the most beautiful god ever, and compared to Cleopatra, one of the most beautiful women ever, probably the most beautiful woman ever. It'd be interesting to see them go up against each other. I mean, come on, am I wrong? All right, here's another must-have, and literally the equivalent to Jack the Ripper in the canon story, and it is Elizabeth Bathory, a very, very evil woman that like the torture methods she did to her victims, that she would torture more. She like they suspect she has more than over 600 women girls killed. She killed them. Uh, Again, the story of her bathing in their blood, they're not sure if that's really true. That's the way the story goes. But if it is, holy frig! But she loved torturing women. She'd mostly get women from how would you say, like ravished villages, or like poor peasants, get their daughter and promise them to raise them well, take them, and then just brutalize them. And oh freak, the stories that have come from that, it's pretty dang insane. All right, holy cow. Yeah, again, a very, very evil and twisted woman. This is probably one of the most evil women to ever exist in history of mankind. And again, another must have on the list for sure, right? Now, my number one pick. This is definitely my first. This was my first choice, and again, it's probably obvious. You all probably know who it's gonna be. All right, so no playing around. It's Joan of Arc. The reason I think is just because the fact that this female is just very well known as a fighter. She was a peasant girl that claimed that God came to her and told her to rise up and lead the French against victory against the English, and she was doing it. She was freaking doing it. She was gaining victory after victory for the French, and it was No, that's pretty crazy for sure, and I think that'd be interesting. The fact of having a figure like this in a tournament sense, that now that the gods that helped her, you know, now they're gonna annihilate humanity. Now she has to go up and fight against the gods, and it'd be curious to see how she would take that, and the gods that did intentionally help her, how they would feel about having to fight her. And we could go into the story on why they did that. Was it just because they actually felt bad for what was happening, and this was the closest way to end the war fast, or was it just to see what would happen, or was it a joke? Just stuff like that. Just kind of explore those kind of possibilities and get Joan of Arc's perspective on why did you do this now? Why are we fighting? Even though after you come and helped us, you've helped us throughout history and our times of need sometimes. Stuff like that. It'd be interesting to explore that. And Joan of Arc, again, my number one pick, and just the ideas, and you could go into the story of Joan of Arc and figure out what happened with her, because eventually she was betrayed by her own people. I believe it was to get a truce with the English, and one of their conditions was to kill Joan of Arc. They captured her, they burnt her alive. Again, very terrible what happened. But again, Joan of Arc is pretty dang well known, my number one pick, and yeah, I'm curious. Again, let me know what female fighter you like to see appear in Ragnarok if there was an all female cast. And also, if you like content like this and you listen this far, I appreciate it, and hopefully you subscribe. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you guys take care and have a great day.